Hello everyone, this is Daniel right here, and we have, I think, development vlog number 15 for our indie RPG Kingsblood. And the last couple of days, last couple of weeks, we had quite the severe heat wave in Germany, so it was very hard to work on the project, to be honest. Still, we progressed quite a bit. And one thing which changed really made me happy because it really lets you feel at least the flow of the story much better. I would like to start out the vlog with this change. And this is a change within our dialogue system. So let me look it up. Okay, here we go. And you can see that when we open it right now, that some dialogues are marked with some extra options. So what we can do now is, before the dialogues were only able to be played on the world map, but now if we fade into a combat, we have some options when the dialogues play, how they play. When they disappear, they can go into autoplay, and that should make the game feel a lot more alive. So let's check this out. Okay. So you see, you might know this dialogue. So this is the intro, right? And one thing we changed is that you can now, if you don't like dialogues, you can press the space bar quickly behind. So let's see. Okay, messes up the audio a little bit. But what's happening right now is that we actually switch into combat, and then the dialogues, they keep flowing. Okay. And so you see now here, this button, oh, you cannot actually see it. I'm sitting in front of it. This button here, it was hidden and it was not clickable. And just with the last thing Torben said, this button was clickable. And now you will see that when we click this button, we will get new dialogues.
Ouch! It bit me. Hold on, sister.
Okay, so these dialogues were not perfectly timed. We need to script this a little bit better. But now you see there is kind of a flow. So first we are on the world map. We cannot interact with the user interface because this is the intro. Then we go into the combat. We can play some dialogues, but we cannot start the combat until these dialogues are gone. And then after we start the dialogues and something happens, then we need to script a little bit, then dialogues keep flowing. And now this combat is over. And what's going on is that the dialogues keep coming. And we actually kept scripting a little bit. Let's skip through the dialogues. And you will see that this is not specifically scripted, so we can reuse this now, for instance, for the next scene, right? So here a door opens and some more zombies are streaming out of it. And you see here we are in the next scene. So for this scene, you will see the collision does not work, but the fight, of course. And let me mute the audio once again because the combat music is so loud. We also fixed some stuff about the lighting. We used to have a lighting for a scene, and then additionally we had a lighting from the world map. And what we do with the combat scenes is that we just load them into the world map in the main scene, and then we had a double lighting effect. So now we fixed this, and I think now the light looks like it is supposed to look, and it looks much better. The story would go on, and I don't want to show more of the story, but now we are really able to create the flow of the story as it is supposed to flow. So let me remove the dialogues from the main loop, we can jump right back into the game, and then I show you some more stuff which we changed. Because something else which we changed is that you're now able to create quest lines. So this is something which we had in game for quite a while, but we did not have quest lines so far. Now we actually have a couple of quest lines, so sat down and wrote some quests, and every RPG should have, I guess, a quest line, at least in the early game, where you go down a cellar and you kill some rats. Alright, and here in Mittelstedt, we can actually do that. We have a weaponsmith, and his dog got missing, and supposedly some rats ate the dog. So let's look what's going on in here. And you can see we also created a lot of these background scenes the last 2 weeks. I think we have about 12 or 13 right now. And what's missing about these scenes is, and about the combat, I think everything improved a little bit. We had improvements in animations, but what we're missing is the sounds. So you hear some sounds, you hear the sounds if we have particles, but the hitting sounds and stuff like that is missing. But that will probably come in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I hope. And then everything should feel a little bit more alive. But I already kind of like the lighting and the ambience of our scenes. Alright, here you go. You see the reds don't do any damage yet, but we finished the quest and we can accept the bounty. But we can, in the meantime, open a new quest, and you see the quest goes into turn 2. This is what I mean by quest change, by quest chains. So the first quest was that we walk down the cellar and we clean the cellar of rats. But now the city says, hey you, nice work with those rats at the local weaponsmith. Unfortunately, there are more, many more, vicious and abnormally large. The situation gets scary. Please help us out once again and get rid of the rats at the local market. Alright, so now we have to go into the local market, and this is, so to say, quest chain 2. And let me get some warriors, and let's see how they will do. And so this quest is only accessible if you did the quest before. Alright, and here you see the local market and the next combat. And yeah, we can play it, let it play it a little bit out. You see, I skipped the combat now, and the quest would go on, and after a while you would find out that someone changes these rats, and this would be the beginning of the final quest, which would be entry to a dungeon. And deep down the dungeon would be a guy who's altering these rats, who's mutating them. And actually I'm thinking about if we want to make this rat summoner to be one of the followers. But that's how quest chains should work. So at the end of a quest chain, you should be rewarded with special loot or with a follower, stuff like that. But it should not be like you click on a city and you always get a quest chain. But this is something we were talking about in the team, how we want to have the flow to be. So we want to have generic quests, which can pop in every city, and then we want city-specific quests. And then it can also happen that if you press turn, that a city does not have any quests, and that's kind of how the flow will work out. Alright, so what I was thinking that I would show you some impressions about the scenes which we have created so far, and maybe you can give us feedback how you like them. So for instance, within this combat scene, you will fight some orcs within a abandoned mine, right? And here's the impression of a little orc tribe which you have to investigate. So the enemies are not right at the moment. Here are some zombies, but supposedly there should be some orcs. I think it looks kind of awesome, to be honest. Really like the style of it. And we also have some winter maps. Let me show them to you now. All right, and here we are. So once again, we have our standard zombie enemies, which we currently have in pretty much every scene. Most of our scenes, they will of course get exchanged. In this quest line, you will have to hunt animals with a white pelt, with a snow white pelt, and the animals will get within this quest line. The animals will get stronger, beefier, and also more dangerous. And at the end of this quest line, you will actually have to hunt down a legendary white pelted bear. And here you see his quest description. So this is the last quest of the given quest line. And the bear at the end, he also has a name, Barlak, the Silent Wanderer. And while we don't have the model yet, we have its scene. So let me show you its combat scene. And you will see it is kind of gruesome. Here we go, because this bear is known to digest and to devour humans as his favorite source of nutrition. So yeah, here we go. For the meantime, since we don't have the bear model yet, we have just some placeholders, some zombies. And also what I wanted to show you is that I think in the last time I showed you that we have these combat stats, and we now also included these flavor texts for every character. So I think this also adds a little bit of RPG flavor. And yeah, so what I wanted to show you with all of this is just that we are working hard on creating these dungeon, these combat scenes. And I think in the end we will need at least 100 or 200 of these scenes. Hopefully we can start to recycle quite a lot of them. Yeah, but that's something I'm working on at the moment. And going back to these quest lines, I think that always the last quest, the final quest, should be, if you have a quest line, it should be kind of special, right? So what we also did, you can get these rumors. I wrote a lot of rumors concerning the mythology and stuff like that. What are the gods? How was the world created? So these were things which were not written down yet, so this helps a lot. But of course, you will also find rumors. Not sure if we find one yet. But you can find rumors about, for instance, about this big bear I was talking about before. Of course, there will be people in the taverns who will talk about this bear or about dragons flying around. Okay, and here it took me a while, so we had to cut to find this rumor, since we already have like 50 rumors, I guess. And here you can see it. Nordlingen claims to have the toughest and best hunters, but there is an enormous bear wandering around the north who everyone is afraid of. They call him Baulak. He's said to prefer human flesh over anything else. Now tell me, if Nordling has such capable men, why is this beast still alive? Or is it just a myth? So you see, with these rumors, on the one hand, we want to give the player a little bit of knowledge, explain him the world, but also give him hints what's waiting for him in the world. And there will, of course, be rumors where you can, for instance, buy some stuff. You can, for instance, someone offers you an amulet, you don't know what it is, you can accept it. So there will be some special events happening within these rumors, but in general, these rumors are made to just hype you up, give you some foreshadowing information. Yeah, and I really like it. Helps me also a lot when creating this world, just writing it down. And if I write down some stuff, for instance, if I write, hey, here in the Black Sickle there is a dragon, then of course later on within the game we have to implement a dragon, right? So anyways, that's it for this week. In the meantime, we fixed a lot of stuff, so the more systems we create, the more little bugs we have, and the more refactoring we also have to do. And something which you cannot see, but it's really important, is we refactored our whole sound system. This is, I just cannot show it to you. Just can tell you that the whole process how we handle sound has been completely revamped. And there are quite a lot of stuff where we fix stuff because we pushed out update after update in a very high pace. And just for instance, the rumor system. So before you could roll for new rumors, for instance, right here. But you could, I think you could roll as often as you wanted. And if you roll right, it gets darker. You can see it right here. So now we have night, and then you could roll again, and it got day again. So this is just an example of things we have to fix. And there are countless of these issues. But on the other hand, I think we fix them also in a quite a fast pace. But this is all stuff you cannot see. So I tried to give you some visuals with these combat scenes. And yeah, I guess that's it for this week. Don't have more to show you. And if you like it, like always, subscribe to our channel. We enjoy everyone, every new guest, and really gives us more motivation and the willpower to follow and push this game over the finishing line. And with that having said, wish you all a good weekend and goodbye.